this beautiful keema tikki, you're going to need about 200 grams of mince meat. So I have my mince meat here, and I've taken about 200 grams of lamb meat. You could take absolutely anything, beef or really turkey, or you could go ahead with lamb, chicken, anything. Ensure it's just mince meat. Now I'm just going to stir fry this, roast this a little. Keep pressing them so that they don't form any lumps. And I haven't added any oil, ghee or water. Remember, I'm just roasting this. Now the water that you see in the pan that's coming is actually the fluid of the mince, which is good. It's gonna cook in its own fluid, so it's gonna be more tasty. Now to make this delicious keema tikki, my request is please make it exactly the way I'm showing you. So I'm just gonna keep mashing this for another 5 minutes until it starts cooking. Yeah, so this has begun cooking. Now exactly at this stage, when you see that it's actually begun cooking, you turn off the flame. I'm going to add about half a teaspoon of salt to taste. Ensure you add the right amount of salt, because if that goes wrong, it's really difficult to correct it in a tikki. I'm going to add about half a teaspoon of red pepper powder, quarter teaspoon of turmeric powder, 1 teaspoon of cumin powder. Sprinkle some mint leaves and some coriander leaves. Give this a nice mix. Now the reason we're doing this is that we're actually cooking your mince and we're cooking the spices as well. So in the tikki, we don't need to use a lot of oil, and they kind of form the tikki also well. The taste is already intact, so it tastes beautiful. Sprinkle some red chili flakes. This is optional, but they give a nice flavor. Mix this really well. Now remember, your flame is turned off when you're adding all this, because we do not want the mince or the keema to cook completely. And in this way, when you make it, your spices also get cooked. They soak with the keema, and the keema or the mince also gets parboiled. And this is the healthiest way of making this, because I haven't added any oil, any ghee, just about nothing. Just go mixing this for about 2 to 3 minutes like this, so that all the spices get into your mince. Now after about 3 minutes, turn the flame onto low. So remember, this was switched off and now we're turning on to the low flame. Okay. Now while the water is almost getting evaporated, I'm going to show you my potatoes. Now what I have done is I've boiled 3 potatoes and I've kind of mashed them. Okay, and remember that as soon as you boil, get it out of the water immediately, because we don't want them to become really soggy and soak up all the water, because that's going to add the moisture to the tikki, which is what we don't want. So this is about 3 potatoes for about 100 to 250 grams of minced meat. I'm going to add this to my mixture now. It's simple. Just kind of mix your potatoes with your minced meat. Ensure they're all mixed together really well, so that there's no flaw in your tikki. So that's the way. I'm just going to keep mashing this. I've been doing this for about 1.5 minutes. And on low flame, when you do this, your mincemeat also gets cooked and gets actually mixed with your potatoes, so it doesn't seem like there are any potatoes. It's just making it nice and patty-like, so it's easy for us to make the tikki. And because the mince gets cooked very fast, we won't have to fry it in too much oil, which is also being healthy. Okay, at this stage, I'm just going to add 2 eggs. I have my 2 eggs ready, and I'm going to add this. So keep mixing this really well. So that's just going to make your kebabs nice and soft, your tikkis nice and soft. Okay, so I'm just going to keep mixing this. Now because we added the egg, you realize there's some amount of moisture that's got added to your mixture, but don't worry, that will eventually get evaporated when you keep mixing. And it's important to add the egg because it makes your tikkis nice and soft. So I'm just gonna keep mixing it like this until my moisture gets evaporated and the consistency is more tikki-like. Okay, but remember to keep the flame at the lowest. You see, after mixing this continuously for about 10 minutes, literally, the moisture has almost got evaporated, and the mixture is nice and moist. It's not watery or liquidy, it's just right. And because of the egg, you'll see that they tend to stick as soon as you stop stirring. So it's important that you keep stirring so that everything cooks equally well. Okay, now I'm going to turn off the flame, and I am just going to let this cool and then make them into palm-sized patties, and I'll show you how I cook them. So just turn off the flame and let this cool down for a good 10 to 15 minutes. It has to be nice and cool before you start making your patties. So I'm just going to let this cool down. Now after the mixture has nicely cooled down, I'm just going to take some in my hands, into my palms, and just kind of round it around so that the sides are nice, and just pat it down. That's it. I'm going to roll this into my breadcrumbs. So I have my coarse breadcrumbs and I have my fine breadcrumbs. I'm going to use the finer version here because we don't want to taste a lot of breadcrumbs. We're just using the breadcrumbs for a coating, very light coating literally. And I have this pan which is really hot with oil, and here I'm going to toss my tikki. Now the reason I've added that much oil is I'm going to make 4 at a time, but ensure the flame is to the lowest. Just showing you one more. Toss it into my breadcrumbs like this. Okay, and I'm going to drop it into my oil. And since your minced meat is already cooked, you don't have to kind of keep frying it for a long time. So you're going to need less amount of oil for more amount of tikkis. Just going to turn this around. So that's the way they should be, just about light brown. I'm going to add my fourth. So in this way you could finish all. And these tikkis are really multi-purpose. You could serve them as starters with some, chutney or some ketchup. Or you could actually put it in a nice burger bun, put a nice leaf of lettuce, put a cheese slice, and put this nice tikki. And it could be a good packed lunch for your kids. And they're going to enjoy this. Trust me, they're going to stop going to the fast food after they eat this. I'm going to turn the third one. Just going to make space, keep the next one. So you see what I'm doing is in the same oil, I'm going to fry all my patties. So they're going to work out to around 8 patties. And I've just used about 6 tablespoons of oil with nothing else while making the minced meat, and the meat is nice and done. Okay, so I'm going to check if my first one is done. The minute it stops sticking to your pan, you got to realize it's done. Okay, put it in a nice kitchen towel and let the oil get soaked off so that any remaining oil is also soaked off. You're not eating any oil. Okay, I'm going to check for my second. Yes, it stopped sticking, so it's obviously done. Yo, beautiful golden brown color. See, lovely. I'm going to turn this around now. This one was the fourth, so I'm just going to turn this. Okay. There you go. 3 tikkis are already done. The best part about this tikki is that the mince with the potatoes, everything is got so nicely combined, along with retaining the moisture because of the egg. And trust me, this is only because we've cooked it the way we've made it. Otherwise, these tikkies can turn out to be a big disaster. And as far as the breadcrumbs go, I have used just about 6 tablespoons of breadcrumbs, and which is more than enough for your 8 tikkies. In fact, it's just right, while I'm making the 8th tikkie. They're just about right for the last one. So be extremely good with your measures so that you don't end up wasting things, and you don't end up adding them too much either. Okay, I'm just gonna add this. Lovely. Now this one's done, so I'm just gonna turn this around. Wow, look at the nice golden color. And this one's done too. And that's how these beautiful keema tikkis look. You could enjoy this with some ketchup or some chutney made of mint leaves. And you could also have chili garlic sauce with this. This tastes amazing. In fact, you could put it in a nice burger bun with lettuce and a cheese of slice, and it's a beautiful burger. And your kids are going to love this. So enjoy. So thank you very much, and hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and you guys will try it out in your homes. And do write to me if in case you want me to really teach you or to cook with you a recipe of your choice. I'll be more than happy, because I believe in inspiring a lot of people to cook. And now that I have that kind of expertise, I want to pass it on to everyone. So thank you, and see you again in my next video. Bye bye.